Okay. So
All
everyone,
right.
welcome to the Naoto's Nerd Hour. Today is today we're gonna talk about the little bit of sharpening as well as some super cool stuff that came in. So let's do that. First of all, what I'm going to do today is to sharpen this guy here. For those of you who can't really see, just gonna show you here. This knife came in as a what you call it, um, um, the mailing sharpening. If you look here, it's chipped all over. Maybe it's easier to see this
Yeah,
here.
I think it's easier to see there.
Chipped all over here.
I'm
So,
Jeevan, by the way.
so we have Jivan helping me with this. I can see super nice clothing in the background. Look at that.
That's my girlfriend. She's a costume designer. So
Oh, here.
that's some stuff she's working on.
So, yeah,
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
drink
going.
a beer. Don't get mad at me. I know I'm not trying to tease you right now.
So, for those of you who's watching, if you have any questions while I'm doing that, just shoot us an email, leave the comment there. We'll try to answer as much as we can. Jeevan will be keeping an eye out for all the questions. He'll just put that on the screen and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Something that we need to say. Um, Welcome to the Knifewear YouTube channel or the Facebook, whichever the platform you're in. Please like it or subscribe to our channel because we are working very hard to create a lot of contents. Jeevan there is actually is great. He has been editing, filming lots of cool contents. We have been working on those contents. Ever since like pandemic started, that we have been working to create the contents that they almost like makes. I want people to feel like they actually come to the store and do the stuff. We want to provide all the information that you guys would want and need. So yes, please subscribe, and we'll have lots of contents out there. Okay.
Yeah. And if there's ever anything you guys want to see from us, maybe fire us a little idea, We're happy to try out many different things for sure. So now she'll be back. I'm gonna drink some beer. I don't know if it's happy hour for anybody else out there, but I'm gonna have a nice little sip.
Stuff that came in, um, we have this. We've been dealing with this blacksmith called. Guess who? Guess who, Jeevan?
Is that a Shibata?
Well, we get it from Shibata-san. Guess who this knife is from?
The tip looks like it's a kotetsu the way it's coming down there.
It's pretty thick.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I heard about this. I was talking this is a Kagura.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Kevin about this earlier. So is that the last one?
We got a few. I'm not sure about the Kagura stuff. He is like semi-retired. He's very, after he's officially retired, he still sometimes, come to the forge and create something that he likes, right? And whenever Shiba gets the chance, he just adds some of these, right? So we got some Gyutos, 250 millimeters, as well as some Sujihikis.
Yeah, 300 millimeters, right? Is Sujihiki?
Yeah. So we have a few available. We are keeping one of each for pictures because it's pictures on the website.
Yeah, it's likely they'll be gone before the picture even hits the website.
Yeah, well, we're actually saving the inventory for the pictures. So make sure that we still have one for the pictures. So
fair enough.
Another thing that came in, one of each, was the very rare piece of the Yanagiba from Kurosaki.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
I'll go grab one.
Nice. So Jared, let's see, you just got a Koishi Petty and you know how to keep it razor sharp. So we're going to go through some advanced sharpening techniques here, but Jared, generally, if you got a honing rod, that's probably the best way to maintain that. And we got some videos on our YouTube page on how you can use the honing rod as well, and then we can go through some basic sharpening as well.
Super cool handle.
Oh,
Silver ring. It's very simple mirror finish.
that's Kurosaki?
Yeah.
Oh, how much is that one?
Oh, I have to double check. You have access to our website.
Yeah.
It's still, we only got a one of each. It's not available for purchase right now because it's, again, you need a good picture.
I kind of want that for myself.
Yeah.
I don't have a Yanagiba yet.
It's really nicely mirror polished. It was actually sharpened by a sharpener, Sakai, which is a really famous place for sharpening single bevels there, right?
Nice.
So let's I think we have enough people watching me, so I can start that little sharpening process. So those of you who's watching, if you have any questions about the sharpening, just leave us a comment there. I'm gonna work on this knife here. Fujimoto
Nice.
135 with chips.
Just gonna really quickly, I'm gonna answer Francois' question here, because I was mentioning while you were gone, Jared got a Masakage Koishi, and I was saying you use a rod to keep it sharp. So when we say a sharpening rod on Japanese knives, the honing rod is not going to sharpen the knife. It's going to keep the sharp knife sharp. And the rods that we suggest using, Francois, are actually made of ceramic. So if you're thinking of, using a diamond steel or a steel rod, if that's what you're thinking, that I'm saying that's not what we use on Japanese knives.
Alrighty, so sharpening, because it's a little bit more of the work than the doing on the stones. I will like I did last week. I'm going to use one of those wheels to do the initial grinding. Okay, so I'm just gonna move the camera over a little bit, so as this guy here, which this one is
Nice.
Okay. So I'm just gonna come over. What I'm going to do today is again really to fix this knife. At the same time, I'll want to talk something a little bit different from the general belief, I guess. So, Jeevan, when you're sharpening these knives here, what I'm going to do today is to remove all the chips. Then after removing chips, what happens is that it gets really thick, right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to thin out this whole bevel. What happens though, a lot of people think is the bevel is sharpened at the same angle throughout. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know if that was a test or not.
A little bit of an illustration here.
Yeah.
So
blank. I've never actually I've never used the vertical wheel before.
So here, I'm not going to use the vertical wheel.
Yeah, I've never used one of those before.
Japanese knives, oftentimes when they are forged, hammer forged or whatever, they have a little bit of the distal taper from the thicker little spine part. It tapers down to the tip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we have that knife, my coffee is like filled with
oh no.
I'm not going to drink that. So when you have the knife like this, it's like this right now, and has the bevel.
Yeah.
Like this. The bevel angle. Let's kind of stopped. I'm sure it's gonna start moving back again.
Yeah.
Okay. This at the heel, the bevel angle on the heel and the tip is different. Because I'm just gonna make a super big exaggeration here. Right? So if I make it like 3D like this, thicker on this part and tapers it down. So if I cut this one into I
gotta say that 3D artist, that's good. I like that.
If I cut, like, make a cross section of the knife, when you just basically cut it like this way, this at the heel is going to be because of the thickness difference on the spine. Sorry, my drawing is really bad, but
it makes sense though.
Make a cat thicker the spine and try to make the same blade height. The heel part will become much more thicker, or the blunt of the angle, where the tip becomes much thinner. So I am going to make that by sharpening these guys. Okay, using those guys to sharpen. So,
nice.
So this here, we have the wheel that spins like this way. It's much faster way to grind this piece of steel.
And you're using the 220 wheel right now?
Very coarse.
Oh, this is making me want to sharpen again. It's been a little while for me.
Do you want to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing that? That'll be great.
Yeah. So exactly what he's doing, his knife's going to be at a slightly higher angle right now just to get all those chips out. Same thing as when he's sharpening a knife. He's going to go back and forth from one side of the knife to the other side. So this is what is going to get all those chips out, but it's also what Naoto was saying is going to make the edge of his knife a lot thicker. But we'll grind out all those little tiny little chips all along the way. And if you guys have any questions going in, this one, the 220 wheel, when you're grinding out chips, they can get pretty loud. So Naoto's probably in the zone right now. I'm not sure if he can hear us. But yeah, he's checking to see if all those little chips are out, alternating sides. That's something that we do often too. You saw him run his finger along it. Sometimes you can't really tell by looking at some of those microscopic chips if they're out. So kind of run it across your nail. You can figure out if you got all those tiny little guys out. And this thing cuts super, super fast. So the only time we ever use these wheels are generally for taking out large chips or thinning a knife, like you'll see.
One of the important things that you want to do while you are removing the chips is that as Jivan mentioned, you want to grind it from both ends.
Exactly.
Is that Japanese knives are made with the usually 3 layers of steel. It's got the core steel. I just made it like this.
Yeah.
It's got a core steel and the cladding steel on the outside. So what happens, the chip is like this. You were missing this much off, right? So if you're just trying to make it from one side, like say grind it off from one side to surpass the chip, from there, I have to thin, right? But it's going to be so much more difficult because I have to make it, and you lose a lot more steel this way.
A lot more steel, yeah.
In order to get at the same, to make this core steel in the middle, I have to grind this here. So you'll be missing another whole bunch of steel. So that's why it's really important to grind it from both
alternate.
ends.
Yeah. Got to alternate sides for sure. Blank Blank says a good option if you don't have the wheel is a 140 Atoma, which would cut very fast as well.
Now I'm going to start to spin this whole level down, okay?
Same thing. He's going to alternate sides here. If you guys got any questions, feel free to fire them away. I'm filling in for Kevin today. How's everyone's? It's Friday. How's everyone's Fridays going? So yeah, he's just using this 220 right now.
So something to the camera on this one here is not as quite good because it only allows to have it on the inner camera. But here, as you may be able to see,
you can see it very well there.
Part gets a little bit taller at the tip part and gets narrow on the heel part. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to make the tip part a lot thinner or that the shallower angle and keep the heel a little bit more stronger.
Okay, I'm going to bring up Lorenzo's question here. He says, when stepping up from a 1,000 to a 4,000, I always have trouble with maintaining the sharp edge. Is it possible to ruin the edge by not reducing pressure as you increase grit when sharpening? I mean, you're removing less steel as you go higher and higher up in grit number. I'm trying to make sure I understand that question. So ruin that by reducing pressure. So
yeah, I don't know, stepping up from 1,000 for trouble with maintaining the sharp edge.
I mean, that's the thing is like on the 4,000, any stone you are theoretically removing steel, but the point of using a stone like a 4,000 after you use a 1,000. It's going to remove a lot of that burr, and it's just kind of going to maintain the edge that you just created. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think I use the same amount of pressure on the 4,000. You know, the more pressure you put on the 1,000, the more steel you're going to cut off than a 4,000. I think that's kind of answered your question, Lorenzo. I hope. Starting out and sharpening, and I've only encountered this with Western knives I'm working with. Yeah, I mean, depending on the kind of steel too, like the steel that Naoto is sharpening right now is it's carbon, so he's not having to put as much pressure on it as if you were using like maybe a really, really hard stainless steel or a powder steel. And I'm guessing most of your Western knives are some kind of stainless steel. Blank Blank asks a funny question. Have you ever messed up someone's knife on that thing on accident? I have never messed up anybody's knife on using the wheel, but I think I've taken a chunk out of the wheel before by dropping a knife. Like, you know when the knife just kind of, sometimes you catch it the wrong. Yeah, and it goes.
Yeah, and it jumps in.
It jumps.
This is a little bit easier. This one is harder. I've been working on this. What makes this much harder is that it spins on one direction. And when you are sharpening, when you're sharpening on the this way, you have to hold the knife on the left.
In your left hand, yeah.
And that makes it much more harder.
Yeah.
So I have been practicing on my deba that I can just do whatever with it.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And when
I started sharpening, even on the rotating wheel, the horizontal rotating wheel, Owen was trying to get me to, rather than just flipping the knife over, he was trying to get me to do it the other way with my left hand, like going against the. It was so hard. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy is gonna be much harder. I am hoping to get this one in every shop that we have, but I have to figure out how to teach people properly how to use them. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't want to see I ruined one of the knives. Like I was working on this super old Yuki, and
Right.
my bevel went too high, so I decided to polish all the way up.
Right. Yeah.
But
Fighting Usyk makes a good point here. He says, "Don't worry too much about pressure. Angle control definitely reigns supreme." And he's right. Higher grits, you're going to get smaller and smaller burrs. So I wouldn't worry too much about the pressure. Yeah. Also, the Thursday boys are trying to get they've had some technical issues. They're trying to get some different gear right now. So we'll get those. That's the Thursday boys are my crew. I'm in Vancouver, and the Thursday boys are my crew. So I'll sort them out. They're not as bright as Naoto is, so it takes a more of a learning curve with those guys. But you didn't hear it from me. But no, I love those guys, obviously.
So how
any other?
It's that the started sharpening from this side here. It's going to get even. I started work on from the other side. This is the original bevel. What I'm going to do is to bring the original bevel up a little bit on the tip side. So you see that the bevel goes.
Yeah. Who's food? That's a Fujimoto he's sharpening, by the way. A petty. So those ones you definitely notice in the spine, the thicker in the heel, that Naoto was talking about, that tapers towards the tip. It's really pronounced on the Fujimotos. Yeah, fighting Usyk, I like what those Thursday boys do too. It's true, actually. Fighting Usyk makes another point. He says that there's also not much need to go up to 4,000 on Western knives unless they're powdered steel. That's generally what we do as well. Like when I sharpen a German steel knife or whatever, 1,000, and then usually strop. Sometimes if you want to go for if you want a little bit more refined, you could do the not so popular 2,000 grit stone. That's something that I'll do every now and then on a Western knife, but generally on Japanese knives, we jump to a 3 or a 4K.
Great. Starting to grind. Again, I try to keep the bevel high at the tip and comes down lower a little bit on the heel. And after this, I will try to make the bevel much evener, like later on. Alrighty.
Kind of miss sharpening now. Let's see what blank blank is saying here. Good to see you again, blank blank. I always have to make sure I remove the same amount of material from the left side as I am from the right when thinning. I switch hands for a consistent finish. I tend to like using my right half hand. Yeah, and that's exactly what Naoto's doing right now as well. Just making sure he alternates the side, or like before you were saying, you're going to get that kind of inconsistent angle, something like that or like that, depending on if you're right or left-handed. Oh, Francois takes us to 8,000. Yeah, you can take a lot of knives up to 8,000. Fujiwara actually sharpens his knives up to an 8,000 grit on our Knifewear 8,000s.
One of the really key when you're sharpening is to use your eyes, like check as much as you can, because especially when you're using the wheel like these, but even like when you're using just regular sharpening stones, there's like there's always the one misstroke that gets to the flat bevel, like scratch that all over, right? So
Yeah.
just, check as much as you can.
Yeah, I haven't been on I don't usually work at the shop anymore, so I gotta go in and bring some knives in, see if I can see if I still got my skill. It's kind of like riding a bike, though. I feel like I did a shift a couple weeks ago at the shop. I sharpened a bunch of knives. I hadn't sharpened anything in about 6 months, probably. But yeah, once you got it, you got it. You know, always learning. But
yeah, like there's no end to it.
Yeah. I guess I could bring some stones home and sharpen at home. But I work at Knifewear, you know? Again, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to fire them away. Looks like we got a decent little chat happening between some people over here. Good to see Blank and Fighting Usyk back.
Okay. Hopefully this camera becomes a little bit better. We're just using my phone camera, so we're working on right now to bring a better set of cameras. So
yeah, same with the Thursday guys. So soon enough.
They should at least make the camera sideways.
Yeah, they bought a little rig. They bought a little rig that they could put 2 phones in at once. So I think they've just had like trouble figuring it out. I didn't even know they got it. So maybe I'll go over there next week and I'm actually shooting with Owen. I'm shooting a video with Owen tomorrow. So maybe I'll tell him to bring it home. Oh no.
You have to use a secret bottle with the hole here so that it splashes, but I forgot to tighten them.
Sometimes we use the liquor bottle stopper, the speed spout on a liquor bottle. Yeah, exactly.
It makes
that also works really well.
It's harder to clean the wheel with, right? So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So here, what I'm going to do is that I have made this edge, so there's no chip left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who's wondering, this bevel is not flat bevel. I intentionally made it so that it has tiny bit of a convex to it.
Right.
Maybe it's slightly stronger that way, and the it's for me it's an ideal bevel for the kitchen knives. It's not too much, but it's just enough to have that tiny bit of curve. Right? Okay.
Exactly. I got another question here from Blank. Do you guys ever get any of those new CPM steels in that you have to sharpen, like on pocket knives? If you guys sharpen those, we definitely sharpen pocket knives. CPM steel, I'm not super familiar with. I think Spyderco might make some CPM steel knives.
Yeah, CPM 30 and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe these are high-speed powder steel.
Right.
We are trying to actually, we do sharpen them quite a few. Like, we don't carry them as a line, but we have lots of customers come in and, do that. But we are thinking of expanding our selection, right? We were thinking of expanding our pocket knife selection. So we may be getting into those steels as well.
Yeah, right now we have like a Kent of Inglewood. I think it's on both websites, Kent of Inglewood and Knifewear website. But we have like a lot of Makustas and Gromans, which are Canadian as well. But the Makustas are all VG10, so softer stainless steel. And then we get every now and then we get actually, we have a Kagura hunting knife, don't we? We have a couple of those. I'm pretty sure.
I know it's all gone. We have some.
I thought we had Takedas as well. Yeah, the Gami Super ones.
But the
CPM is just a maker. But I thought CPM was a kind of steel as well. I guess I was wrong.
We do use just this technique. Oftentimes, if it's like super dull, we may just gonna put that on the wheel first to get the initial edge on. But like usually, we just use those regular sharpening stones to sharpen them.
My camera got a little nice. Got nice for a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you could see the method though really well.
I mean, I love this angle. Like this
yeah, it's a great angle.
I think I may just gonna move my this main camera back a little bit because.
Sure. Yeah, and then they can see the whole thing.
There you go. Better? Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, when I'm using the just regular pocket knives, my favorite setup is either a regular Knifewear set, the 220, 1000, and 4000 if it needs to. Generally speaking, though, I don't usually take it up to a 4000, like any 1000 for a pocket knife, because pocket knives is something that you use outside, and that does need a little bit more bitey edge.
Exactly.
Of durability. If you sharpen, like as you go up on a finer grit, you are basically making that the edge thinner and thinner. You don't want to have a super thin edge when you are especially outfield try to cut the wood and stuff like that.
Owen always uses Owen's got a Makusta whenever we grill. Yeah. Like whenever we're doing yakitori barbecues, sometimes if we're cooking things like sausages or something, he'll just pull his Makusta out and start cutting up all the sausages.
Yeah.
I always tell him to stop doing that though, because I've seen him cut boxes and stuff.
Oh, that's totally different.
Yeah, exactly, totally different.
It's different for like different issue there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry, Fighting Music. I'm not super familiar with pocket and sporting knives myself. I'd like to think I know a lot about kitchen knives, but yeah. You know what though? I got a car this year, so I'm gonna start camping more this summer. So nice. I'll have to invest in a couple camping knives.
Yeah, we got the some super cool ones. We just got a whole bunch of Takeda folders and stuff. So
yeah, those are some of the nicest folders. I want one of those just to have. I don't know if I would take it out camping with me, but some of the nicest knives. Those handles are unreal.
Yeah, the he collaborate with those handle makers, right? Custom.
Yeah, the wood? Maybe because I don't think I've ever been told exactly what the wood handles are made of, because they're like a composite, right? I can't remember exactly what they have.
Nice wood. It's like they have box elder or something like that.
Right, box elder. That's what it was.
And they I think they basically submerged in some sort of a chemical to stabilize the wood.
Yeah. James here says, "What's your dream knife that you haven't owned yet?" That's a big question, because there's a few. I don't know. For me, it's not so much a specific knife. It's like a couple knives that I want from different makers. You know what I mean? And someone like Kurosaki or Takamura has a bunch of different kinds of knives. I don't know if there's a shape or size that I want specifically, but something. Speaking of Takedas, I don't actually own a Takeda yet, and I do really want to buy a Takeda. I just don't know which one I want yet, But so I would say maybe a Takeda's up there on a list of like kind of knives. I've been slowly just trying to buy knives from different makers that I like.
My dream knife is a Honyaki from Genkai Masakuni.
Oh yeah,
he's a legend. He's a I guess master, or his sensei, the Masakuni Okishiba Masakuni, his sensei was basically known as for establishing the modern technique of honyaki.
Mm-hmm.
And the Masakuni-san, the Genkai Masakuni-san, is the only one who truly kind of passed down the skills to.
Right.
We may be able to get the hands on that knife, but honyaki, it's like a couple $1,000 to start.
Yeah, those are different than the honyakis that we've had before, right?
It's just really different blacksmith though, right?
Right. Yeah.
I want to know, like, I've never owned honyaki before.
Yeah, so neither have I.
Curious to what really is that what makes it that much of difference?
Right. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it like cuts differently. I think that the method of making it is quite impressive.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, if you differentially temper it wrong, they pretty much have to start over again, right?
It's really
is it fixable?
Cracking it and breaking it in half.
That's
makes it a little bit more difficult.
Right. Yeah.
There's a Genkai. I've been talking. We sometimes get very rare pieces of knives. We haven't put out on the. It's not available to purchase on online yet, but we do have the Kiyoshi Kato's knife.
Yeah.
That's sitting there. For those of you who knows who the Kiyoshi Kato is, people basically rage about that. The Kiyoshi. I have held one before. I've seen one. We just basically hold on to it right now until we have time to take a picture of, because we only have.
Right.
We do have two of each of those kageras. That's why I kind of showing you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Those are amazing. I mean, I have Owen. I don't know if anyone. I mean, Owen. If you guys ever watch our Thursday shows, they know who Owen is. So Owen has a lot of knives, and I made him this deal that if he dies before me, I get to choose 5 of his knives that I get to keep. Yeah, I got him down to 5. 10 was too much, but that was what we settled on, was 5. So I've got a couple that I want from him. He's got a Hana Petty 150 Petty that I really like using. So I really want to get a Hana. There was a 210 in a garage sale when I first started. Yeah. But as you know, garage sale, we're not allowed to buy anything and things like that.
Yeah.
Until the first day, but something like that is gone in like an hour, Yeah. This question's is a funny one, actually. So people love to debate about Nakiris, sort of a love-hate thing. Do you guys use them? So here's my thing with Nakiris. I personally love Nakiris. When I worked in restaurants for 15 years, I never used a Nakiri ever. And because I use a 240 or a 210 for pretty much everything. Yeah. So when I started working at Knifewear, the first knife I bought was a Nakiri. Because I just never owned one before. So for me, I love them because after having worked in kitchens for so long, this was something very different for me to use. So it kind of like made me, re-fall in love with cooking at home, though.
Right. I use the Nakiris, but really specific because I do have one.
Yeah.
Now I have Santoku for smaller. I have 210, 240, 270, and I just change it, whenever, depends on how I feel it. And
exactly. I'll agree with that.
And I use Nakiri when I'm making gyoza, the dumplings. I have to cut a bunch of cabbage and a whole bunch of, especially chives. When I'm cutting a whole bunch of chives, that's when I use that the Nakiri.
See, I'm Indian, so I make so many veggie curries and soups and dals and stuff like that. So whenever I cut that, it's onions, garlic, carrots, any kind of mirepoix. I go to town whenever I'm doing lots of vegetables,
Yeah.
Mine's quite tall though. I have a Yuki, like an older Yuki, so it's quite a bit taller than some other ones.
I have a Hinora, not the.
Oh, really?
Not the expensive one. It's
Oh, okay.
Sumi's.
Was it one of the? Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was like the mistake river jumps.
Okay, so
go ahead.
up the 1000 grit stone. What I did with a 220 is to make sure there is no like much scratch left on the blade, because how I use the green wheel is pretty aggressive and leaves a very deep scratches. I just moved on the 220, removed most of the scratches. Then I'm going up to this 1000. We get it as a which I'm gonna call it the sample. This one here is the Naniwa Hibiki. It's really popular stones among carpenters in Japan, using the sharpening plain blades, chisels and such, because it's harder. It keeps the flatness for a longer time.
Jared's asking if his Koishi is as sharp as it can be, or if you should bring it in for a tune-up. I have no idea. I'd have to take a look at it. I'd have to see it. Yeah. But I would say if it's not cutting the way you want it to, then and the honing rod's not getting it to where you want, yeah, you can definitely bring it on by. Usually we say about once a year. Koishis are hard steel, so sometimes they can go a little bit longer than a year before they need a tune-up. But I generally just go for it every year or so.
So like how I feel here right now, I can feel the tip angle is much shallower, and I leave the heel a little bit more stronger.
Mm-hmm.
What this does is that when you try to cut it into some like root veggies and stuff like that, entry will become so much smoother, right? But because it's a little bit thicker here, it helps to open up the food a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you're actually, so this is a very popular construction of the knife, even the Yanagiba. Yanagiba is the type of blade that's like long and skinny, single bevel for slicing sashimis with, right? So what happens is that it is thicker at the heel, thinner at the tip. So when you're slicing it down, you are making an entry with a little bit more like this opening action, but the follow through is going to be so much smoother because as you pull the knife, it will start to close. So it gets so much smoother when you are slicing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was just answering Jared's question. Yeah, Jared, if it's out of the box and it's brand new, it probably doesn't need anything. We check every knife that goes out, so we make sure. If it feels a little rough, it probably just needs a little strop. You can always strop it. If you don't have a strop, you can just, take it on a piece of denim or leather or something like that. But I don't think it needs a tune-up yet.
Yeah. Also, James, the one of the type of edge that the Shiba is trying to create is not like smooth. He actually tried to make smooth rough-ish, because the rougher the bitier the edges. So when you're cutting tomatoes, things like that, it bites and cuts in a little bit nicer. So yeah, I shouldn't be worried too much about this.
Yeah, and is he sharpens 1,000 on one side, 8,000 on the other, right? Is that true? I hear something about that.
He does one side coarser than other. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what achieves that technique that you were just saying, right? Like a little bit of bite to it.
He doesn't tell me which stone he uses.
Oh, yeah, of course not. He's not going to give away all his secrets.
Yeah, he used to 800 and 8,000.
Right.
But he does it different. I've seen it. I can't tell people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared, you're fine with the rod right now. If it starts to feel rough, the rod will realign all that burr again. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
It's good.
What's Francois as a question here? I have a very average but okay global sushi knife. How much should I look at it if I want a blue or white carbon polished 300?
how much.
Like how much should you spend? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what he means, right?
If he means like global yanagi or the sushi knife, the single bevel yanagi, stainless steel. It's pretty decently made, but it's not taken as sharp of the edge.
Yeah.
If you want to do a little bit of upgrade, you can definitely look at something that's like Sakai Takayuki, Sugi
Yeah.
Kusumi, which is very reasonably priced.
Very reasonable, yeah.
Single bevel knives like these guys are, you can like there's no stealing. You can, if you want, you can spend as much as you want. So anywhere from say $200 range all the way to a couple $1,000. So it's really up to you, I guess, right?
Yeah, but we're all pretty big fans of carbon steel Yanagibas, and having a nice high grit stone to just keep them stropped on is also gonna be a really good thing. I've sharpened a lot of globals. I've never sharpened a single bevel global before, but yeah, you can definitely get something from Sakai Takayuki that's affordable. That's not
the Kurochi with Akira Sasaoka's.
Yeah, those are the new ones, right? The blue carbon ones. So those are really cool. They have like a rough kind of look to them.
Yeah. Now it looks like this. It's got a little uneven the reflection here. What's going to happen from here is to use the little bit finer grit. Again, where my finger is another thing that not many people do. Like if you actually look closer, it's a little bit different. Instead of keeping my this left fingers at the same spot, I actually move my finger from high.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's how I get the nice. So here at the tip, I press a little bit down on towards the spine, so it's a little bit more shallower. At the heel, I put more pressure at the edge, so it's more higher. It's a very tiny difference, right?
Yeah, so, makes a difference though.
Yeah, because it's very, very tiny bit difference. The knives are very interesting because I've we had a Masashi Yamamoto-san's petty, 120 petty for the longest time. And his petties are very typical, I call it the Sanjo style. Very skinny, a little bit more straight. And we wanted to make it more like a, Masakagi type of profile, right? Mm-hmm. So I basically drew the shape and sent to Masashi-san.
Yeah.
So what happened was I basically did what I did is that on a paper I put the Masashi-san's knife, drew it over, and Masakage on top and drew it over, and that from what you can see is the quite a bit of a shape difference.
Yeah.
When you drew and when you actually measure how much of the difference in the millimeters, it's so tiny.
It's
like two difference.
Yeah. The tips on Masashi's knives are always so strange when I first bought mine.
Yeah, there's reason to that though.
Yeah, I know. Francis was telling me that, and I can't remember exactly what the reason was, but because I thought I bent it the first time I used it.
I broke the tip off.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't break mine. Mine just bent a little bit, but I was able to bend it back. Like usually you can't bend the steel back, but mine, it was such a slight bend though. I actually just took my fingers and went very carefully bent it back into shape.
I broke the Kuroshu tip.
Oh yeah? Do you have a Kuroshu?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one you got when he visited?
I have two Kuroshu then.
Oh, okay. So I got hired about a week after he came, so I just missed him. Yeah.
No,
but I
have been. Our company, the Knifewear and Masashi-san's been it's great. Like we can say friends, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah, for sure.
last trip that I did, I was able to spend whole day with him and got trained on the sharpening wheels like these, much bigger.
Right.
This one, and also he knew that I got married last year, so he was like, yeah, he surprised me with here. It's that this knife. That
Oh, that's so nice.
like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it was a Kuroshu? He gave you a Kuroshu?
Sujihiki.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
oh,
crazy. That's like a big knife to get as a gift.
I was like, oh, I can't. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to say yes to that one. Yeah, I don't know. I just have a 150 Kamuri Gyuto just because I thought it was so cute, like the little Gyuto.
They're all great. It's just I'm not really the a guy who goes for the look, right? Because
Yeah,
I always like the simple finish.
me too.
Very latest one that I got was the Sumi Sakai O Sumi 240, like super simple Kurochi. But I just could not resist. Like when I first got the 210 Kurochi, I could not just resist how good they are and how good looking they are.
Yeah, Kuroshis are beautiful.
Seems
like so a question.
From a
Blank. Yeah, so question about what you can use for finish stones, any finger stones. I know it can be a bit difficult to get a convex knife looking good sometimes. And then he suggested if we could do a stream on doing different cosmetic finishes or something along those lines. That would be cool too.
Convex grind, to make it look really good on a convex grind, little bit of key is the that's one of the reason why I used this guy, hard stone, to make sure there isn't much bumps on the side. Then I moved to same grit, 1000, but Knifewear stone. It's this two different, biggest difference in these two are the hardness. Knifewear stones are so much softer than the one that I was previously using. What happens, I'll show you here for the blank. I'm sure he has a name, but probably. What happens is that by putting on the soft stones, it will make it really nice and even. Although
blends in nicely.
Yeah, there is still a nice convex left on it. Okay, makes sense. So what I've been actually working on is to try to find the really good soft polishing stones to get what we call it the kasumi finish. Kasumi is as I mentioned earlier, Japanese knives are made with hardcore steel, softer steel on the outside. So what it does is that the kasumi finish is to polish the core steel with the fine stone, but leaves that little smoky finish with the outside steel. And that reminds me, Jiven, I will be right back because I have something to try. Give me 1 second.
Cool. Douglas customized. What maker has a good fit and finish? Example: rounded choil and spine. So actually, one of the ones that we just started carrying that Naoto was just talking about a little while ago, the Sakai Takayuki Ghouls, they have a super polished spine and rounded choil, almost like a mirror finish on them. And, we see those a lot on things like Kotetsus, for example, the Shibata knives. But the choil and spine on those new Sakai Takayuki Ghouls are unreal. They just feel super, super nice. And Naoto's back.
When I visited the Naniwa in January last year, I brought 4 knives with me and asked them, if I can use their place to try their stones.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And I asked, like, have you ever got anyone coming in with the knives and testing out stones? And they're like, no. By the way, on the train, be on a train in Japan with the kitchen knives is not the best idea.
Did you have like?
No, I didn't. But hey,
what? Sorry, what would happen? Did you have them in like a travel bag, like a chef bag?
yeah, I was like wrapped in. Yeah, I had it in the box, I think.
Okay.
But here,
I guess that looks a little shady.
I get to use one of these. 4,000 grit. That is resinoid stone, so it doesn't. It's a splash and go.
Mm-hmm.
We were not allowed to purchase this one because there was some issues with the chemical composition that is only allowed to be sold in Japan, or not
interesting.
be sent to outside of outside of the country.
Right.
Some maybe prohibited chemicals. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But so I really like this stone, and I was talking to them. Hey, I really like how it finishes. And he was like, yeah, like we can't sell it to you because you have to, we have to follow all the international regulations. And like, yeah, sure. What they have done is that they listen to us because I really like this stone here.
Yeah.
So they listened to us and they came up with some samples that's safe to send it to other countries.
Nice. So, and then you just got these are demos that you got?
This is a sample and see
Right.
how they are different from the what I was testing.
Did you notice a lot of difference, or is it pretty similar? Oh, okay. I thought maybe you used these before. This is brand new.
It's brand new.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So it was sent to a Calgary store yesterday, and I just took it from the shop, and
nice.
Yeah, it's the first time that I'm using it.
Sean says he got a knife that you sharpened back today, Fujiyama.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. Hope you like it. It was pretty fun project.
Yeah. We like projects.
This one gives you a little bit more polishing on the jigane, which is the softer steel. I'm just gonna show you once done.
This is kind of an odd question. Yeah. So the reptilian overlords confiscate all of your stones, but one. What do you keep? I guess it would have to be some 1,000 grit stone, right? if you only get one.
So this here, yeah, I'll
that's looking really good.
This one though, it does give you a little bit more polish.
Yeah, that looks very polished.
Well, right?
That polish is very nice with that one.
Yeah, it really depends on what type of polish that you want.
Yeah.
This fine. This one's 4,000. I'm gonna try another one.
That's not a bad one too. Blank. Chaucer 800.
Oh yeah, actually not that bad. I will probably. I may actually like the Sharpening 2000.
Yeah, those Sharpenings are nice.
Yeah. So this was 8,000. It's a little bit finer than the other previous one that I had. Also, our idea is that if this polishes or does great Kasumi polish, we wanted to bring it as a like our branded.
Yeah.
This one does polishes a little bit hard as the mud doesn't come up as fast.
Yeah, it looked like it came up very fast on the other one.
Yeah. but it does have feeling that's it touches the whole bevel rather than means that one spot. This does polish is pretty
Yeah, it looks
good,
really nice. Yeah.
but the one I personally like is the this Kensho K series, because from this polished on both, this actually polishes are pretty good and it's pretty even. But generally speaking, I do like to kasumi means to it's a mist, right? So I like the misty finish on that softer steel.
Yeah, and we sell those blank if you're looking for the Sharpening series that we sell. They're all the glass series, right? The ones that I think in the Vancouver shop is all the glass ones.
Yeah, we only have glass series. Some people call it the professional series. We don't have those. But I personally do have a few professional series myself. When I was back in Japan, like a couple years back, I decided to actually purchase 3 Sharpening called the Kuromaku series from the website.
Yeah.
And brought those 3. I left. So when I purchased those ones, I left those stones at home, and my mom's like, "Next time you come back, please take those stones back to Canada." I left there because, like, whenever I come back home, I can use those stones to sharpen your knives.
Exactly. Yeah.
Take those, because it's so heavy.
Sean's asking if we've ever used any of the Nanawa Guken stones. I have not. Goken, yeah.
Okay, which grit?
He just got a 220
and
a 1K.
Yeah.
And the Hayabusa 4K, but he's only just used haven't tried to use any of them except the 220. So we have the Nanawa Professional series. I don't think we have that series though. Booyah.
Hey Sean, just to tell you a little bit of background story. Aramusha and Goken 1000, Kuroto 1000 is pretty much the same as our Knifewear stones. And 4000, the Hayabusa, is the this one that they told me that they can't send it outside of Japan. They made a new formula we're testing. So so yeah, the Goken is great. I love Goken series.
What else? We got some other comments here.
But international market, Naniwa made the decision that for the international market they use a different packing and different branding.
Right.
So so like in order to get real Goken, you have to get it from Japan or somewhere. Another way.
A few other comments here about the Shaptons, I believe.
Yeah.
I have the 502K. Don't feel like I'm missing the 1K.
Yeah, that's fine. I was talking to a massage son the other day. Oh, it just
oh no! Which one was that? Was that the Knifewear one?
It's a 4000. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that still works.
Yeah, it still works. I was talking to massage-san earlier, like this week, because we wanted to make another order from Sharpening, right? Because we're selling pretty good, and so we decided to order more. And I never really when we first ordered the Sharpening, I never really consulted with massage-san of which grit to have. But this time, I should probably ask him because he likes Sharpening.
Oh, nice.
So as Shigefusa. So I'm like, hey, massage-san, which glass series should we get? And he's like, yeah, I use 500 and 3000, and that's the most jobs. Like,
Yeah.
thanks. Those are the two that we don't have. So we actually add that to the order. So next ship, which is actually a little bit late in September, we'll have the 3000 and the 500 coming in. Apparently, that's Masai-san's favorite.
Nice.
So we'll try them out.
Sweet. Yeah, any other questions? I think we've answered most of these here.
The another way to get the kasumi is really one way is to find the right stone to get the nice polish. Another way is to work on just the exposed edge. What that means is that the things I'm doing right now, I may be a little bit difficult to see with my finger, kind of. Let's see if this works. Okay, so
it's clearer now. It looks clear, yeah.
Instead of just the putting whole bevel down like this, I press it just down along the edge and focus on that part. So what this does is that I'm just polishing this this knife. Oh, sorry, this knife is only touching tiny bit along the edge, the part to polish it up. So here, what happens is that here you can have that shiny edge, and that lighting is terrible, but
you can see that shine though when the light hits it nicely.
Another way to get the really nice shiny edge to it, or a nice kasumi finish. Okay.
A lot of questions about finger stones today. How do you produce or acquire your finger stones? Do you glue them to give them more strength?
The finger stones.
Yeah.
We basically use them until it disappears, I guess. The small ones, we don't strengthen them. Smaller ones, we have a natural finger stones like these big guys to these guys small. I use this a little bit more often. So as we have the as flattening your stones, the stone becomes really thin that you can break it into the finger stones. So that's what we use, and especially synthetic ones, it doesn't it kind of disappears as you polish them because it wears down really fast.
He's asking if they're just broken pieces of old stones.
That's pretty much it. I mean, like our fingers. Yeah. Not really the synthetic ones, yes, the old broken down pieces of the old stones. These guys are a little bit more special. We had last garage sale. We had the stones called Uchigumori finger stones. We were selling at the 100 grams. It came in the super giant pieces. It's Ohira Uchigumori. It's a fantastic finger stones, polishing stones that's famous for sword making, sword polishers. But we decided to break it down in pieces, and we just keep some of the leftovers for ourselves because we sometimes want to give nice polish on the knives, right? So yeah.
So actually, Sean's got a question about the Uchigumoris as well. If there's a difference between the Ohira and the Shiki.
Yeah. It's just the hardness, I guess. The Shiki and the Shiki Maruyama is different amount than the what I know. I'm not a sword polisher, so what I know is that the Ohira Uchigumori is that Uchigumori that is used by the sword polishers. Maruyama is actually relatively new player in that the natural stone guys, and if you look up his names, he's the only one who carries Maruyama stones. Really nice and soft too, and make it the nice kasumi finish on the kitchen knives. It's fantastic, but I guess it's different rank. It's
Mhm.
both, but the one is like Ohira Uchigumari. You know, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Its name kind of does a lot of stuff.
This is actually a question that we get every now and then. What is the use of natural Naguras? Will it change the finish when I use it on a synthetic stone?
Natural Naguras usually works only with the natural stones. It's a supplement on the say several reasons. The sometimes, especially when you're sharpening on the super hard Ohira Awasedo or the Ozuku, that's really hard stones that doesn't that so-called the mud or the slurry doesn't come up. These were to create the slurry. Two, the also those the natural Naguras like a. Sorry, I only have this good one. Natural Nagura is to when that the whatchamacallit, when say the finishing stone is like this fine, but you want to actually polish a little, like you want to make a progression into the like this highest finest stone, then you use the Nagura to control that little bit different grit. So start from something a little bit coarser, Mikawa Nagura, and then use the some Kuro Nagura, and then you wash away. That's how the Iwasaki-san's father developed his system of sharpening his stray razors.
James asks, synthetic stones typically wear down faster than natural stones. Why is that?
The again depends. Depends. Some of the harder natural stones, some of the softer natural stones wears much faster. It really depends on, and some depends hardness, I guess, right? Some of the synthetic stones, if it's vitrified and baked really, really hard, they will wear as fast as the. But generally speaking, the hard awasedo or the finishing stones are really hard because again, it's pressed down, right? It's earth pressuring all the and those things into the stuff. So it's like solid rock.
Yeah,
That's why
so
they
dense.
are much denser. Right? So it really depends. There are harder stones, there are softer stones, so as the synthetic stones. For example, synthetic stones, if it's so-called the um, resinoid bond, resinoid being they are bound with the resin-based compound. So when they are made that way, they are pretty soft. When you're sharpening like this way, it's super easy to gouge in to the stone. I'm Jibeni had a few times like how gouging into the Arashiyama or Kitayama
Yeah.
because those stones are not designed to do this type of sharpening.
Right.
They're more on like should be sharpened. The bevel should be sharpened, or But it really depends, James. If you may have the really hard natural stones that doesn't wear out as fast, right?
All right.
All right. For those of you who knows how to sharpen, this is the kind of last minute. As I pinned out, give nice polish just along the edge. I started with the 1000, and now I am finishing with 4000 grit.
Nice.
If you want to learn how to do this part, tune in on our Thursdays channel with the Owen and Francis. I'm sure that's what they are talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, how to set the angle, how to put the finger like there.
Exactly. Yeah, they do that on. They're doing Restream now, like they're doing on YouTube, right? Or are they still doing Instagram?
I'm sure they do it in the Restream.
Yeah, so we used to use that show used to be on Instagram only, but now it's transferring over to YouTube as well. So that's every Thursday night with Owen and Francis.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm still there. Sometimes I stick around as well. Actually, when Owen's on vacation, I might be doing that with Francis in a couple weeks.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So we'll sort out their gear.
So here is how you want to finish here. Several ways that you can try how the knife is. Cutting paper is definitely one. The other one that I learned from Masashi-san is to looking for the burr by doing this.
Yeah.
Basically, use both fingers and thumb goes on top of it, and you slide on the sideways and all the way here. And if you do it with the other hand, slide your finger like this way. If you feel one finger, if you feel that the knife is grabbing your thumb harder on the one side than the other, that means there is a burr that's like this way. I can feel that there's like burr. So this burr will be taken with the jeans. The jeans is one of the most popular stropping tool that that knife makers use.
Like denim, you mean?
Denim, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Shibata-san has the old denim hanging on top of the sharpening station.
He just has his old pants.
Yeah, exactly. Like old ripped pants kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't officially announced them yet, but we just got some of the new sharpening stones.
What's he bringing out? I don't even know. No one even told me about this. How's everyone doing out there? Everyone almost off work today, or plans this evening? I guess you can't really do much these days. I know the guys in Calgary are very excited about some hockey game tonight.
It's Edmonton and Calgary.
Yeah. But see, the Raptors are playing, so I'm watching that instead.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Suihiro is another really popular stone maker in Japan. We've been dying. Well, we have enough stones, like regular stones, right? But we've been dying to see some of the stones that is like these. For those who's like go out hunting or like love outdoors, these come super handy. The reason is that this is small stone that you can. It's a splash and go as well. Small stone that you can use it outdoors, as well as its wedge.
Oh, sweet.
So what this does is that this narrow side, you will be able to sharpen a serrated part. Right?
Nice.
So it comes in 1000 grit, or we have a 300 grit as well for those who want to just put the super quick edge on.
Right.
As well, we got these guys.
I asked these guys what they're doing tonight. Fighting Yusik said he's going to have some beers and season his carbon steel pan. I actually want to get a new pan. I want to get one of those Prince pans when they come in. Do you have one of those now, too?
They're in older.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get the frying pan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we should make a video on how to properly season those pans.
Yeah, because we have a video on how to season cast iron, but the process is a little bit different on those carbon steel pans. Ayumi actually, I know Ayumi doesn't like to be on video, but she bought one the first day we had them, and she got it seasoned up perfectly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she's making like Zatar pancakes and stuff, all kinds of weird things on hers. Yeah. Oh, nice.
It's small leather strap. It's small enough, right?
Yeah, totally.
Strap, and it comes with the chromium oxide.
Oh, sweet. That's something you don't see very often, and that'll last forever.
So this is great. The tiny, leather strap. I'm sure these words are. We don't have pictures of them yet. New things. We have to basically wait until the picture is taken. But we have them on the website. So it's pretty good stuff. It's
I got a question actually. Do you usually chromium your leather? Is it leather on both sides, or is it one of those suede?
oh suede.
The one is suede. Okay, I was wondering if you put leather because I thought they were both leather, so I thought maybe you were putting chromium oxide on both leather sides.
One suede and one the
Right.
So
Right.
it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy that sharpening stone maker started to make something like that.
Yeah.
People like ourselves, like us, looking for. Also,
Right.
I found this polishing powder from that company that try to recreate finish like keyring.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So like polishing powder designed to do that polishing.
Right.
So I am hoping to get some of those for our use and see how they do, and see if there are people interested in.
I might have to check out one of those strops. We started carrying a strop. Like I don't know if anyone here is from Vancouver, but we started carrying a line of like this guy makes all his own like pasta making tools. So he makes his own like rollers and cutters and all this stuff. It's really nice stuff. And he makes strops as well. But they're just so we started carrying a few of them. We don't get a ton of them, but they're just one-sided and they actually have like rubber feet on them, kind of like a cutting board. And you just put it down and you can kind of strop it like, as if you were like doing a knife kind of on it. But they're really nice, but just leather on one side.
Naniwa leather strap, right?
Sorry?
Naniwa has the leather strap like that.
Yeah, we just got those too. Yeah, that's right.
So here. I guess come back to the.
I haven't tried that one.
It's got the chip is gone, of course, and the sharpened thin polished the edge, as well as the line here has gone up a little bit on the tip here, so that's a little bit thinner at the tip, stronger at the edge here. So I wish this camera is better because it's just inside camera, right? It's selfie camera, so it's not.
Yeah, and USIC, like generally that's what we do too. Like we'll chromium oxide our suede side, but we generally don't put anything on the leather side.
No. Okay, grab our leather strap to polish it up. Yeah.
Oh, we have someone. Telfel Garan is from Malaysia. International.
Oh. Well, it's YouTube, right?
Sorry?
It's a YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Internet.
The internet connecting us.
Yeah. So here is, the thing.
The classic.
We use phone book papers.
What is it? When is that? Like, what year is that phone book from?
I think it's still pretty new.
What? Do they still deliver phone books in Alberta?
I'm not sure. We got it from. I don't get it from our.
Maybe it's just businesses that get it.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. It must be really.
I agree with fighting USIC. That's a collector's item now, a phone book. Oh, I was imagining like a thick, like one of the old, thick, really thick. Oh yeah, that's a chunk of it.
Well, we've been ripping the pages too, right?
Yeah.
Relatively new because there are some like 587 area code.
Right.
Relatively new. Relatively.
Yeah, it's got to be relatively new then.
Yeah.
Interesting. I cannot remember the last time I saw a phone book.
Businesses though. It's got the grocery, lawyers, liquor, management.
Is Naoto in there?
planning real.
Kevin in there? Can we find Kevin in there?
Yes. Yeah. Like retail?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we use these. It's
Phone
really
books are strange. It's weird that like everyone could just be in a phone book.
used to be.
Because you can't Google anyone's phone number right now, really, unless it's a business. But you could like look up someone's family's phone number. That's just weird.
Well, it used to be, like everyone had a landline, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah, no one really calls landline anymore. So.
But people that have homes, I mean, no one in Vancouver has a home because no one can afford it. But do like families still have landlines? I think my parents still have a landline.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know who calls it.
My house doesn't have a landline.
Yeah, maybe that's just our generation.
Yeah, my home back in Japan does still have one, but they just ignore the phone calls that come into the phone.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Right?
Yeah. I remember you could opt out, but like I don't know what the process. Anyways, maybe that'll be our next topic: is phone books.
Yeah, I guess it's good time. Like 5:30 now, Alberta. I'm going to quickly, wash this, take picture, and upload it on my Instagram post today. So
So follow Naoto is what he's saying.
And it takes it's my work account. There is my personal thing doesn't go in there.
Oh, okay, so yeah, this is just, there you go. It's Knifewear on Instagram. We post a lot of stuff on Instagram as well. We are going to do longer, we do longer form videos and these streaming kind of projects on YouTube, but we still post a lot of other things on Instagram, smaller videos, little fun, more fun, little fun things, lots of photos.
The stories sometimes do, we got this knife in.
Exactly, yeah.
24 hours story.
Yeah. We're always posting. So if follow us on Instagram for sure as well.
But yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are going to work a lot more on the videos. We are planning on. Well, we've done a few blacksmith interviews. That's my job to put the subtitles, and that's a Jivan job to edit. I haven't done the subtitling yet, but once it's all subtitles, you don't have to sit in front of a computer for an hour doing that stuff. So I'm trying to. Yeah.
This is a good chance for me to just learn how to speak Japanese, though, right? There you go. I could learn, right? Can't be that hard.
Oh, there's Mickey. Well, but yeah, and then the something that we've been trying. So check us out. I think it's gonna be another video. I think Mike's Cleaver video is not on the YouTube yet, but
no, it's not on YouTube yet, but it will be probably by the end of the day. Actually,
we'll have the fun videos that Mike trying to take down the chicken, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right, in the show. So we're working on a show here.
Yeah.
Chris Lord liking Splitting Hairs is the name of your TV show. Honestly, yeah, we got a lot of different titles. If anyone's got ideas.
Yeah.
I actually like slicing onions. I think it's funny. But I also like the dish pit. I thought that was funny.
That is good, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Boss Man's got the final say.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh well, thanks everyone for watching, and I guess follow us on, subscribe, like us. Yeah, we're trying kind of hard to get the really nice content out. So
tell your friends.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys next week. I haven't decided what I'm going to talk about next week, so leave us some comments. Send us email to hello@knifewear.com. hello@knifewear.com. Yeah. That will go come to our help desk. So, okay.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you.
Peace out, guys.
See you guys, I guess, next week.
Yeah. Bye.